And I'll make you the host.
Okay. Okay, Mayor, I think we, hold on, let me start over again. Okay, Mayor, we are on the, what is it, April 6th conference session of the Town Council at 7 p.m. Tara, you want to read the Open Public Meetings Act?
Adequate notice of this meeting as required by the Open Public Meetings Act was provided through the posting mailing and filing of the annual notice of regularly scheduled meetings of the Town Council on December 11, 2020. The notice was on that date posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, provided to the Westfield Leader in the Star Ledger, and filed with the clerk of the town of Westfield.
Okay, I think we have a quorum here. So we have a presentation tonight. Clara Christian is with us to present her, what I'll call phase 2 of her Veronica's Garden project that was actually started and finished last fall. So let me see if I can get Clara here. Let me see if I can, Clara will join as a panelist. Hello, Clara.
Hi.
How are you? So welcome to the meeting. Thanks for coming. Quick little update. I was just, you heard me probably, but Clara's here for her phase 2 of the Veronica's Garden project. And she appeared last night before the Recreation Commission to present her phase 2. And she got approval from what I understand from Mr. Bogardus. So they like what they heard. So if you want to go through and do your quick presentation now, and we can see if the council members have any questions.
Sure. So I'm sure some of you either have seen or have heard about Veronica's Garden. It's a sensory garden dedicated to my younger cousin who has Down syndrome.
An outstanding full-time elementary teacher.
Project. So the second phase, I was planning on adding some additional plantings. I know that they recently cleared the back area of Mindawaskin, where the daffodil, or I think it's called Daffodil Hill, that's where kind of near my garden. So I was planning on adding an autolucan cherry laurel, which is about 2 feet high, just in the back area of the garden, because I have additional funds. And since it's a Girl Scout project, I need to use all those up. So I have about $1,500 left over for my initial phase. So adding those, it would be around $750. And then we would add mulch as well, which would be around $500 in the actual garden itself and in the new area. And then I was also donated some pavers by Paver Art. So those are 12 inches by 12 inches, and they would say Veronica's Garden 2020 on them, leading up to the sundial in the garden itself.
Okay, and then just on that topic, Clara, the art pavers will replace the bluestone that we put in there for you last year, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So that's your phase 2, and that can be accomplished with the money you have left over, and could be done, I guess, what, this spring or summer?
Yeah, it would be done probably this month.
Okay. Anyone have any questions for Clara?
Clara, I just wanted to say it's such a remarkable undertaking. It has enhanced that area so much, and so many people comment on it. So congratulations for a really, really terrific phase 1. And we're really excited to see what you could do in phase 2. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Claire, I know we mentioned this too, but you've inspired us now to, like, as you know, the whole daffodil bank, is, I think we call it, is been an inspiration because of how great we thought your garden is now worthy of the rest of it looking as great. So you did a remarkable job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would just like to echo the mayor's and Councilman Mackey's comments there. I thought phase 1 was wonderful, and if phase 2 is just half as good as that, then we have a lot to look forward to. So I'm all for it.
Thank you, Claire.
Okay, Clara, looks like you have approval, which was expected. So as we did last time, I will send you a letter for the formal approval as we did last time. And then we can coordinate on, when you want to be there, timing and so forth. And then, yeah, just like I said, we get the letter, let me know what you need from us. We're more than happy to assist.
Okay, thank you.
Great, thanks so much. Congratulations again.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Clara.
Thanks, Claire. Okay. All right. We also, just as on the agenda, we do have the appointments tonight of the bicycle board, which will be on the executive or the legislative session at 8 o'clock. So we have, after an application process, I know Councilman Dardia, Councilman Boyes, we're on that, in that review process, and a nice group of people from PTA, residents, Green Team member, and I think there'll be a council liaison assigned tonight as well, which is great. So that'll kick that process off, and it'll be a nice help of volunteers helping out with some other bicycle initiatives we have. So that'll be at the 8 o'clock session. Under finance policy, we have a few resolutions tonight. First is a resolution to draw a warrant for dog licenses for the month of March 2021, a whopping $151.80. Number two, a resolution authorizing CFO to draw a warrant for unused parking permit fees, one fee being refunded there. Three is a resolution authorizing CFO to draw a warrant for overpaid taxes for 2021. There's two property owners there. Four is a resolution authorizing custodian for the fire department petty cash fund, was renaming Chief Tiller as the petty cash account person there. Five is a resolution authorizing submission of an application for $20,000 in funding through PSE&G Sustainable Jersey Grant Program. As I said in my email to you, I saw the grant application today. It looks great. So it's a $20,000 grant, $10,000 of which is being set aside to seek out a professional bicycle traffic engineer to design bike oases in town on the edges of downtown. And then another $10,000 for implementation of the amenities that go in those bike oases. So this will be an application to hopefully get that grant. If we do, we're partnering the Green Team, partnering with the town and the DWC. We'll be implementing this over the course of the fall and next spring if we get the grant, which is exciting. So I want to thank Jay Goldring and Carrie Hansen and also Bob Zuckerman for kind of working on that application and getting that done. And that's to be, if it's authorized tonight, it'll be submitted, I believe, tomorrow or Thursday, I think. Friday. Okay, Friday. The other grant for submission, authorizing submission, is for application for a $2,000 in funding through PSE&G's Sustainable Jersey Grant. And this is, again, to kick off a process to launch a reusable food container program. And David, you want to give a little update on that?
Yeah, so there's obviously, because of the pandemic, more takeout than ever before, and unfortunately more garbage. So there's a company that just started up a reusable food container program in New York City called Deliver Zero, and they are interested in moving out into the suburbs, and they would love to partner with Westfield to do a pilot program that this grant would cover all the costs. So basically the way it works is there would be participating restaurants would use these reusable food containers instead of disposable ones. Residents would register with Deliver Zero. They'd receive these containers. It would be their responsibility to bring them back to the restaurants to be fully cleaned and sterilized like any other plate or dish or utensil in the restaurant. If the resident does not return it in a 6 to 8 week period, they're charged the nominal $3.50 fee. There's a small charge that the restaurant pays to Deliver Zero. I think it's 8 cents, which is basically the equivalent cost of a disposable takeout container. Like I said, the grant would cover all the costs for the first year to see if it's viable. And we are planning to, we may partner with Summit, which has interest in this. So we're submitting the grant, and if it comes through, then we'll work potentially with Summit on launching this across both towns. Coincidentally, Starbucks just announced a reusable food cup program or beverage cup program in Seattle. It was on the news today. So this is exactly in line with what Starbucks is doing. And it's to aid sustainability in an easy way or a pretty easy way.
So again, these are two grant applications to be submitted this week, and then we'll wait and see. Usually it takes about a 2-month window for them to Sustainable Jersey to announce that. So,
and I should note, we've been fairly successful. So we're going to hear at 8 o'clock an update on another Sustainable Jersey grant for storm windows. So we won that grant. I don't know if you guys remember a couple of years ago, we handed out a bunch of reusable bags and straws. That was also funded through a Sustainable Jersey grant. So we have a pretty good track record of winning these. There's no guarantee, but I think we have 2 very unique proposals, and I appreciate the town's support.
Okay. And the last one under finance is a resolution to appoint electrical subcode official So as I mentioned in my email, so Keith Alara, who was here the past number of years, retired. And we were able to get somebody who's a certified electrical subcode official, Joe Egidio, just started last week. He's really already integrated into the team over there. So he must be appointed and be sent this resolution to the DCA for approval for them. So we're excited to have him on our team now. And that's it for finance resolutions. We do have one ordinance, which we'll get to in a few minutes, that is under finance as well, but that's it for resolutions. Any questions or thoughts? No, okay. One resolution under Public Works Committee tonight, resolution awarding contract for professional services for environmental engineering services. As I said, we have some, a lot of the environmental things are ongoing for many, many years. This is the final piece, right, Chris? Before Chris leaves, this will finally be done. It's for remediation and DEP permitting final permits for, was it Lot 8?
Right, Lot 1, Trader Joe's lot.
Yeah, which used to be called Lot 8 is now called Lot 1. So some final permitting to be done for that, which started back in 2005. So it gives you a sense of how long these things monitoring and process takes. So that's, we'll wrap that up. As I mentioned before, we have one ordinance tonight on first reading. General Ordinance 2213, an ordinance to amend the General Code, General Ordinance number 2043 entitled an ordinance fixing the salaries of certain employees of the police and fire departments in the town of Westfield and various amendments thereto. As I mentioned, happy to announce that after quite a bit of time negotiating, we were able to come up with a voluntary settlement, which is always preferable. I want to thank the PBA and their membership and their president, Paul Ferry and Jason Merritt, for working with us to get this deal done. It's a 5-year deal, retroactive to 2019. And I think it's a good deal for both sides. And I'm very excited to get it done. This will now have every contract bargaining unit that we negotiate with, every the employees represented, will be under contract. All 5 and actually 6 would be include the library CWA contract are going to be all under contract when this is finalized. So it's exciting news, and it's always a big accomplishment. I know it's a lot of work. Myself, in this case, Police Chief Bataloro and our labor attorney's office, but a good deal in the end, and I'm happy to introduce this tonight. At the next meeting, of course, we will have the second reading on April 20th, and then resolutions for the retroactive pay for the members of the PBA. So can't say enough about the PBA and the time they took to work with us on this and get this done. So that's first reading tonight. Any other questions on that? Anything else? Okay, so we have a one Public Works Committee meeting report, update on a few items. I think, David, you had a few things to share from the last meeting.
Yeah, happy to. Thank you. So just to keep the council on the loop, we met about a week ago, and we had a really good discussion on a number of different topics. So excited to announce that we're going to be able to bring back the food waste recycling program to the Conservation Center. We're signing a contract with a third party that will be bringing the food waste to Elizabeth to the waste management facility. And we're in the contracting process with them. So we'll keep residents posted. Hopefully that'll restart in the next few weeks. Same parameters as before, just being delivered to that facility by a different company because Waste Management unfortunately shut down the route because of the pandemic. We talked about the grants. In terms of leaf collection, we did complete the survey. We had 355 residents fill it out. And like the previous survey, there is people who love our leaf collection efforts and people who don't. It's very split. So we agreed as a committee to continue pursuing additional options to improve leaf collection, including studying other towns in the nearby area who do slightly different things than Westfield. So we're going to be setting up meetings starting with Cranford, and we want to learn from others and see what works and what doesn't work so we can continue to improve our efforts. I will say the leaf bags that we handed out last year were well received. Actually, the biggest comment was, I didn't get enough. So we're going to plan to repeat the leaf bag program. And if we have extras, then we'll allow residents to get more than 10. So a lot more to come after we do some additional discussions with neighboring towns. On road paving, we did get some feedback on the 3-year plan, which residents of a few streets that were not included, that were in the lower rated categories. We are going to be adding a 4th year of paving to that plan Jim can probably let us know the timing of that, to make sure that all roads in the two worst categories are paved over the next 4 years. I think it's smart, and also given how much variability there is in this plan, it's highly likely that some of these roads will be paved sooner. But we want to make sure and commit to our residents that all roads that are considered poor and very poor will be paved over the next 4 years at the latest. Jim, do you want to add anything to that?
Sure, and it's important to know that, thanks, David. So we did post the 2021 road paving list, as we talked about, which includes the town's roads as well as the utility roads that we know about. We also originally posted 22 and 23, and we already know some of the utility roads will be done in 22. After discussion and some feedback from residents and discussion with the committee, we merely posted the 2024 list of the town's list. And actually, I think it's very helpful because that is a list we worked on, we know. But as David said, what's really, we're finding what's happening is, I think we mentioned this last meeting as well during our presentation of the budget. Because of the ordinance changes that were made about the requirement for paving, we're getting, the utilities are coming to us now seeking to do work in town, because now we know that if they do work of a certain length, the whole road has to be repaved curb to curb. And now they know that we are likely to approve their project rather than try to defer it because we weren't getting the paving done. So the good news is utilities, we've always had a good relationship with them, but they're coming to us. We're trying to get infrastructure improved, and we're getting the roads paved at no expense to the town because of that. In some cases, in a more timely fashion. So to David's point, while we have posted the 4-year plan, including 21 on the website, it's up there already. Likely over time, as you learn about more utility jobs and more money that we may have available going forward, that road list will ultimately only improve from what's been posted today. So there could be roads in 24 that'll move to 23, 23 to 22, et cetera. And of course, a lot of it's also based upon the public bidding we do. So we're going to be going out to bid very shortly after tonight's capital bond ordinance is hopefully adopted on second reading. And if the bidding comes in, we've had very good success the past few years. And we've had some bids come in under our budgeted amount, which allows us to maybe add roads to even this year's program. So it's a very flexible program, but the 4th year is up there so people can see where their road falls in the years, and again, likely to only improve.
Great, thanks, Jim. I'm glad to hear that got posted. A couple of other quick updates on the Tamaqua Rain Garden, which was sort of on hold because of the winter, should be completed over the next few weeks. So that'll be a gem to be added to Tamaqua, and a great opportunity for residents to see, the benefits of green infrastructure. You may have noticed that there are these big EV chargers going up in town parking lots. So the Volta chargers, I think everybody remembers, we partnered with the company Volta for 6 free EV chargers. They have beautiful giant display screens. They are installed and should become operational in the next week or so. So anybody who has an EV charger will now be able to charge it for free in town parking lots. I think it's a big commitment to sustainability and a very visible one for the town. So appreciate the town's efforts. Park recycling, it's something we haven't talked about in a while because obviously there hasn't been a credible use of our parks, but now that it's spring, we are restarting our test of recycling in Memorial Park. So for residents who are frequenting Memorial Park, we have nice recycling bins, which are co-located with garbage receptacles. Please use them properly, because if this works out and we'll be monitoring the recycling, we would like to explore bringing recycling to the streets of downtown Westfield, but only if residents comply. If garbage ends up in the recycling bins, there's no point. So we'd like to ask residents' help in following the labels on the co-located garbage and recycling bins. That would be wonderful. And lastly, Jim, are you going to announce the tree designation we won at some point?
That's going to be next meeting. We're still waiting for documents to come from the company. Yep.
Got it. Okay. Well, we want an award, but I won't say anything further.
And one last thing, David, the only thing I'd like to say too is we'll talk about the partnership with AGSA, because I think it's just important. It's in the very early stages, but we have the American Green Zone Alliance. So we mentioned the last meeting too. We're hoping to have our training done this summer, probably June, July, and that will help us to do a couple things. Start identifying areas in town to be designated as green zones. recommendations of equipment to be used that are not gas powered but electric powered, and also working with Public Works on making sure that the equipment that's recommended over time is as powerful that they need to do the job. So that's really something that's going to get started this summer, and we'll be able to begin to see what we can do. We've already done some pilots on our own of electric powered gas blowers, and we've used them in certain areas. We want to try to expand that out now. So that's going to be this summer as well. So the other exciting thing.
Yeah, no, that's great. And what's great about this company, it's a nonprofit called AGSA, is that they have a very systematic approach to helping companies and municipalities shift from gas powered to electric powered, and to make sure that you really don't see a performance decline. So they scope out your requirements and they help you build a plan to achieve that transition. So it's great. We're going to start small and hopefully work up to establishing at least one quote unquote green zone, which means only electric equipment or battery powered equipment is used to maintain that property, no gas powered equipment. So a great step forward.
Okay. That's it for the Public Works Committee report. Anyone else? Let's see if we have any time for public comment now. If anyone wants to be heard, please raise your hand virtually, and you have 3 minutes to provide any comments you may want to provide. You can raise your hand virtually at this point. I can call upon you. We have a few attendees at the meeting here. Again, anyone who wants to be heard, you can raise your hand virtually. I can call upon you. And I'm seeing very shy people. Okay, so no one's looking to raise their hand. So anyone else on the council have anything?
I just have a quick question. I was corresponding with Craig Gibson because I know that a bunch of lights are out in Mindawaskan. Any updates on that? Because the other night when I was down there, it's pretty dark.
Yeah, so we have
having some trouble.
Yeah, Mindawaskan, we have been keeping up with the lights. We had, I think it's about a week and a half ago or so, we uncovered an electrical issue where there was lines in the ground, I guess between the playground area and town hall on that side, that there were lines that were exposed. Remember, the lighting here was installed many years ago, and the conduit is, I guess simply said, deteriorating. So because of the threat of potential electrocution, we had to have PSEG turn off a section of the lights. So we're working, Chris and I were already working. We had an electrician come out, and we're looking to see what our options are, whether it's going to be something that can easily be fixed, or does it require to be put in new conduit. So we're looking to see what the options are. I know Chris is working on either having a contractor come in, or looking at getting a bid document RFP together as soon as we can. But in the meantime, obviously, some of the lights are still working, but there is a section that is out purposely because we have a safety issue that was brought to our attention. So, but we're aware of it. We're working on it. And while we're talking about Mindawaskan Park, just to go back to the Clara Christian project for a minute. Yeah. Thank you for that approval, and she's done a really great job. Just to piggyback on what she talked about, as I mentioned, Daffodil Hill, I called it, but actually I learned today, I was corrected by the Garden Club, it's Daffodil Bank. And that's the area that we just cleared out in the past few weeks. The Friends of Mindawaskan have been requesting this kind of process to be done for many years. We finally got around to doing it, and really partially inspired by Clara's project with the whole reinvigoration of that section of the park. So really in the beginning phases of basically restoring the natural beauty to this area of the park. So that area had been overgrown for some time with volunteer trees, overgrowth. It was called Daffodil Bank for a reason. It was, the Garden Club maintained it for years, planting daffodils and maintaining that area. But over the years, of course, it just, the overgrowth got too much. And so now that we have begun to clear the area, we now have an opportunity to kind of restore it to what it once was. So Clara talked about having some small low plants on the edge of the bank, so to speak, by the pathways that are there. And then the Garden Club and I have been speaking already. We're meeting out there next week to talk about what they want to do in the park. They're very excited about the opportunity to kind of reclaim that area and be able to maintain it and do plantings. So we'll see what their thoughts are. I've also reached out to the Friends of Mindawaskan about what input they want to have. We've talked about everything from adding irrigation that doesn't exist there right now to other plantings we want to do. And of course, our own Public Works Department. Greg O'Neill and Robbie Kosciolek, the forestry division, have some nice ideas there too. And I know the tree preservation might have some ideas as well. So we only have a blank canvas, but we don't want to go crazy with it. We want to kind of restore it to its original beauty and maintain it that way. And it really provides a beautiful view now from the upper plateau on Mountain Avenue into this beautiful park we have, which before it was like a really a mangled bunch of trees and overgrowth. So, but this is only the beginning. There's still some work to do over there, a lot of restoration to do, but we're very happy to partner with the Garden Club and the Friends of Mindawaskan and with the town to really see what can be done there and restore it to its beauty. So just in case questions come up, that's really what's been going on. We'll continue to go on for the rest of the spring and summer, I assume. So,
Jim, speaking of Mindawaskan Park, I want to thank you and the town for making the fountain at Mindawaskan turn blue for National Autism Awareness Month. So really appreciate that quite a bit. Thanks. Thanks.
You're welcome. And then really thanks goes to Greg Gibson. You know, he was able to, the fountain gets turned off every winter to be winterized. The fountain's a beautiful thing. It's a very difficult thing to maintain. Believe it or not, even though it's a new fountain, it gets clogged up very easily. But yeah, now we installed it after the dredging was done in 1718. We put that new lighting package in. So we're very happy to do that. And of course, we'll try to do that as the months go on for other events or things. We've done it for Adams Fest for Purple. We did it for July 4th. We, you know, various things can be done. So, but Craig Gibson really deserves a credit on that. So thanks, Mike.
Can we turn it green for Earth Day?
On Lambert's Mill Road traffic light and West Broad. It was supposed to be in March. So just wonder if any updates from the county.
We haven't heard any, we haven't seen any progress out there. You're right. They did indicate they were starting in March, although I think the weather probably precluded them from doing that. But no updates yet. We can follow up, Chris, with the county and see what their actual start date is. But they did say March, but I assume it was the weather that stopped them from doing that. But that's the two lights, Amherst Mill Railway and Scotch Plains and West Broad.
Thanks.
Was it Jim? You said something before? Did I miss that?
No, I said, can we turn the light green for Earth Day?
Oh, no, we definitely can. Yeah, I mean, again, we have a lighting package there. It's a little finicky, but Craig's figured out how to work it pretty good. So yeah, we can definitely do that. And we've done it for other things too. It's nice to be able to do. So, all right, anything else? All right, so I guess we can make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any further comment? No, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so we'll see everybody in about 27 minutes.
All right.
Okey dokey.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you.
See you guys.